Question number 63, Ananyam and Dr. Brid Smith, who has 30 seconds to introduce her question.
And before I ask the question, because it has to do with forest fires, I want to express the sympathy of my party, and I'm sure everybody in the Dáil, with the people of Portugal who have suffered a severe loss due to forest fires in the last couple of days. My question, Minister, is on the loss of wildlife, on the loss of nests and food stores of birds and other wildlife caused by the recent gorse fires and heather fires. Unfortunate name, clashing with the Heather Humphreys, whose bill I want to talk about, that have been started illegally in some mountain areas, and if you will make a statement on the matter, please.
I'd like to thank Deputy Smith for raising this important issue. Significant environmental damages caused by wildfires. This issue has become more acute in recent years, as evidenced by the spate of fires in various parts of the country, including a culture-owned site of some 4,000 hectares, county investigations and any other investigations that may be initiated by other statutory bodies.
What I really want to get at here, Minister, is that the burning of vegetation and wildfires is already forbidden in certain months, but takes place regardless of the restraint on the amount of months that can happen. But what we need to know from the very recent fires is the extent of the damage and the scale of the impact on wildlife, because only then can we gauge the actual damage that Heather Humphreys' Heritage Bill might do. So, in case people don't know, the bill that Heather Humphreys was proposing was to allow for burning in both March and September. At the moment, it's illegal between the months of April to August, and to extend it for March and September would actually have a huge impact on wildlife. I just want to read something here about the extent of the extinction of the wildlife. Birdwatch Ireland say that species nested in upland habitats at risk when burning occurs in areas they occupy in March, April and May include the hen harrier, the merlin, the golden plover, the dunlin, the breeding curlew, and already the curlew, as we know, is on the brink of extinction. So I think we need to get a commitment from your department that they will assess the damage in terms of the wildlife in order to assess what damage this proposal for a new heritage bill could actually do.
Thank you, Deputy.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've worked with the officials. I'm glad to be back working there again, and I know how focused they are on it. And I suppose just to separate responsibility as well, you know, it's controlled burning that the Department of Heritage has responsibility for, not the illegal burning. But can I just point out, and you mentioned a couple of other incidents, Deputy, in my own county in Inishowen, the people who first responded were...
do you want to make a final supplementary?
Yeah, my final point would be just to say that whether these fires are started illegally or naturally, they are causing huge damage to wildlife, and in particular, at the time of the year that Heather Humphreys' bill proposes to extend it to, when birds and other forms of wildlife are beginning to make their homes, beginning to nest and mate, and then to breed their young throughout that season. It's really lethal to the protection of our wildlife, along with the cutting of the hedging. So I think that the bill has been dubbed the anti-wildlife bill. I think that describes it very well, and it makes no sense at all for us to increase the amount of time that is allowed for burning, particularly when you say that only a small amount of applications were made to allow the actual burning. That implies that most of the burning is totally illegal, and what should be done here is a bill or measures brought in that enforces what already exists, rather than extending the potential and the possibility for further burning and possible destruction to wildlife. Because ultimately there's a huge cost in the exchequer of this burning, but there's a bigger cost to nature and to the quality of all our lives by losing these habitats.
Thanks so much.